Bonjour, welcome to Teach Christ International. So, I am your host Ruth Garubo, and today we'll be discussing a very serious topic, peer pressure. Hope you'll learn, and don't forget to subscribe, to share, as well as to like. It helps build this community so that the information gets viral, as well as you get notified every time I post new videos. Okay, thank you. So peer pressure. So peer pressure is derived from two words, that is peer and pressure. Peer is a social group composed of people with similar interests, similar aspirations, and they could be of the same age as well. While pressure is the force exerted perpendicularly per unit area. That is from the physics analogy. So we can say that peer pressure is the force or the influence exerted on someone by their peers. Are we together? So, why would one want to conform to standards of a certain social group or a clique, as we said? Clique is C-L-I-Q-U-E, clique. Yeah. There are those who will want to say we are the big five, we are this, the mabolas, we are the academic giants, we are this. So, why would one want to conform to certain standards of a social group? One is the need to feel accepted. According to Bloom's taxonomy, among the hierarchy of needs, there is a hierarchy that emphasizes that one needs to feel a sense of belonging and acceptance. So to feel accepted, people have to conform to certain standards. Even in church, you find there are certain standards they expect from you, failure to which you'll be exercised. So for you to fit in, you have to conform to that. Yeah, that's one. Number two, it's fear of rejection. Yeah, I know rejection is so sad. And by the way, have you checked my video on rejection? Yeah, how to get to deal with rejection, how I say that rejection can be redirection. I shared a lot. Please get to view it. It is so impactful. It is power packed, right? So the third reason will be fear of criticism. Yeah, let's say it's a student and they don't want to excel so that they're the top cream, the creme de la creme, because they fear they will be criticized by their peers. When it's choppy, wewe ni nini, Sometimes even people literally tend to shy away from you. Yeah, that's another reason. Another reason is because some people come from broken homes. Truth be said, that other people they tend to have toxic families. So where they feel they're not understood, they are not involved in decision making, they're not heard. Their families, you just sin, especially if you're a child, you're just there. So you want an avenue where you feel you're understood, your opinion counts, you're valued basically. So such a person will tend to conform to the peers. Also, where there is cases of divorce and separation, one will want a safe haven where they can project, where they can be understood and not be judged. So yeah, peer pressure or peer influence will come in as a result. Another reason is because one is facing an identity crisis. Yeah, so they're not so sure, so they're kind of confused. Where should I belong? So in that process, they will tend to follow the wind. Yeah, because that is where the flow is. They get to know what exactly they stand for. Let's say someone, it's about keeping yourself pure till marriage. So you'll tend to find some will be like, so after getting married as a virgin. So what next? You know, in that state, they're like, is it even really worth it? They're trying to find uh, their identity. Yeah, so in such a case, they will be prone to peer pressure. Another reason as to why someone may conform to standards of the peers is because they have low self-esteem. Yeah, some people don't have these standards, or neither are they confident enough to say that no, I don't believe in that, these are my standards. So yeah, they're likely to face peer pressure. Have you ever been affected by peer pressure? Let me know. Personally, yes, positively and negatively also. So before I continue, I want to sing a song. It was a nursery song, a nursery rhyme. It goes like this. Togende arai koiba toranyorulende chitingayo. So, if I can translate it to Kiswahili, it says twende wapi kuiba na tukipatwa je mimi sipo. You see the thumb disappears, cuts itself out. In English it would be like let's let's go. Where? To steal. What if we are caught? I'm not there. Yeah. So yeah, so want to say how this analogy will help us to understand peer pressure. You can see the smallest finger was proposing, they go somewhere. The next finger was like, where? It has the costume. The other one proposed, we can go and steal. So even within your peers, you can come up with ideas, and they're like, let's go maybe drink, let's go party, let's go read, let's go dance, let's go do this. You see, that is what this finger is for. And someone could ask, what if we are caught? No, they're asking critical question. Someone else says, I am not part of it. So, wanna say how not to fall prey of peer pressure or peer influence, okay? Let's get started. So, peer pressure, like I already said, it can be negative, it can as well be positive. And another thing to note is that peer pressure knows no bounds. It doesn't know your age, doesn't know anything. So you cannot come and say, no, maybe I'm over 25, so I'm not affected by peer pressure. Come on. Even adults are not immune to peer pressure. Yeah. Actually, they're the most affected because they'll be like, there are certain milestones you need to have hit at a certain age and you have not achieved. So the pressure is here from the society, from within. You have internal pressure. It could be from social media, all those spaces. So yeah, another thing, peer pressure knows no location. You cannot come and say, which peer pressure is better between home and school. Peer pressure is peer pressure. It doesn't matter the location, whether it's school, at church. It is what it is, alright? Yeah. So for peer pressure, the positive peer pressure can be a good thing. Yeah, peer pressure can be a good thing because one, it will propel you to unleash your fullest potential using the resources that are within your disposal. Let's say it's academic excellence you've been tailing, but you want to be associated to a certain clique. You want to be associated with an academic giant. You want to be associated with good grades. So you will have no option but to study hard. Do maybe your studies, do discussion groups, organize your day, maximize the resources so that you can achieve academic excellence because you wanted that to belong. Like there's a time I remember I used to say, I cannot associate with people who are not from national school. Sorry, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, in such a case, for someone who wanted to be my friend, actually not friend, I used to limit to boyfriends. No, national school will not. You cannot be my boyfriend. So that was the standard, however misleading it was, as I realize now. Yeah. So if someone wants to associate, belong, they have no option but to excel. Number two, it can get to influence or acknowledge the creative power, because you'll be like, so and so is there. How do I get there? Because if I start copying them, probably it will be a limitation. So you will have to come up with creative means to achieve those milestones or goals similar as theirs. So creative thinking comes in. The other aspect with peer pressure is that it gives one a test of their beliefs, whether you have a strong conviction of your beliefs. For example, you want to keep yourself pure till you're married. So within your peer group, maybe they have different opinions. It's at that time that you know what you stand for, or you just swayed, or you have straight principles. So that's all about positive peer pressure. Negative peer pressure. So this one, the effect is usually not a positive one. Why am I saying so? One, it could escalate even to envy. No, you just want to have something. So because you still haven't got it, maybe there are some clique of friends, even maybe within a school setup, and they have a certain lifestyle that you want to lead and you're not able, so you start being envious. And this leads to another point. Upon you being envious, you start now feeling helpless. How do I get there? So you stop appreciating the things, the beautiful blessings that are within you, just because you have not hit such milestones. You look on social media, your friends are driving, they have good families, they have nice houses you don't have. You start feeling like you're more of a failure. Another bad thing with negative peer pressure is when you have a peer group and instead of advocating for the best, they could be making such suggestions on antisocial activities like cybercrime, because you want to achieve a certain lifestyle, a fake lifestyle. Maybe you look around within your estate, people living big with a big spoon, you're like, this can't be, I also must get. And you don't get to trust the process, you want it pap, pap, pap. So you start engaging in antisocial activities like cybercrime, prostitution, whatever, as long as it can bring in money, you don't care, even if it involves doing money rituals, you're in. Yeah, so it becomes negative. Another thing with negative peer pressure is now when you're trying to conform to standards just for the sake of it, maybe it's a fashion thing, a facade. Yeah, people are doing tattoos, you want to do, it's ear piercings, you want to do, not because you want, but because you want to be accepted, you want to wear the bling bling, because your friends will tell you look good, you look wonderful, yeah, piga ori, ori, yeah. So, and that is negative in a way because you'll be exerting undue pressure to yourself. And when you're unable, you'll start feeling depressed, unfortunately, right? Another thing with the negative peer pressure is that you'd be trying to impress people, yeah? You'll be trying to keep up with extravagant trends, using money you don't have to impress people who don't care. So obviously it will be draining to your pockets. You want to drive the flashiest car. You have another car, yeah, it's functional, and now people are, this is the new car, you sell the other one to get another one. You find the one that you have bought now, it's not even effective. Yeah, it's maybe draining you in terms of fuel. You find that it's not able maybe to accommodate your family as the previous one, but because it was the latest trend, it has maybe higher cc, you're in for it. So it will drain you. Yeah, especially your financial freedom. Yeah, another thing that I wrote is that it will make you have feelings of mediocrity. You're not enough, yet you are indeed enough. Another thing is that it will be oppressing to you because you'll not be able to even sleep well. Yeah, you're like, I have to achieve this. You go to social media, your friends are hitting goals, and you're like, so what am I not doing right? You stop even living your life because you start comparing yourself. Another thing is that it can give a negative vibe to the point that you give up. Yeah, I also wrote that um, it can lead to failure, especially in academics. So maybe your friends are like, we should skip the classes. In school, in campus, we used to say skiving. And you're skiving classes to go where? Maybe club, go, just sleep. Then when the exams come, you find that you're failing because you never did your best. What are the ways of curbing peer pressure? One is to say no. Like this time that said, I'll not be there, so you can get to say no. Even if they continue, sometimes more pressure could be exerted until you decide to conform. But you can break the record. Say no many times. Sometimes you can bring in humor to distract. You're like, well, fine, she'll see. You can also delay. You can say maybe, let me think about it. But honestly, deep down, you won't conform. The next thing is being content. Yeah, I'm not saying you'll be complacent, being even content with the mediocrity. No, I'm just saying be content with aspects. Be content that you're simply trusting the process to growth, because the Bible is so clear that slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 9 verse 1. This race is not to the strong, but to the true and faithful. Yeah, victory is promised unto them. So believe in gradual rise, not just because you want to maybe have good grades and that's not your capacity. So you decide to engage in exam practices. Then yeah, you excel, you get good grades, you get a good course. But when you're in campus, you feel that this is not me, this does not reflect me. You're not able to handle because you are not true to yourself. And that brings another point of handling peer pressure: altruism, being true to yourself, true to your values. Sometimes we choose even courses that we don't want just because we want to be comfortable. Everyone is choosing maybe medicine, engineering, law here, so you do that. But deep down, that is not what takes your heart. It's not even in your wildest dreams, but you're just doing it because everyone is doing, and it's bound to fail. Yeah, along the way. I know a couple of people who even do that, then maybe around second year they realize this is not the path I need to do, so they have to restart afresh. Oh, I have some sweat. Sorry. Another thing I wrote is discuss with the involved people. Yeah, get to communicate assertively and tell them why you don't want to do ABCD. Maybe they're telling you to steal, you can tell them why it's bad. Maybe it's against your principles because you could be caught and jailed. Give them reasons. You try to discuss. So speak out. Another thing, if they don't get to listen, you can decide to quit the engagement. You can quit gradually. No, sometimes it's not good to back out. You take your time before you back out. Another thing, you can give options. Give other alternatives instead of maybe using the time maybe to go for this course. It's at night. why don't we use that time maybe to do study groups? You can do book clubs. You use your time for constructive things than destructive. Instead of going to take drugs which will destroy your health and general well-being, you decide to do things that will build you instead. Yeah, so alternatives or options. Another thing that I wrote is alignment. Check whether your group, your social group, aligns with your values and your purpose. Because if you don't share common values, what is the point really? They'll be derailing you from your main goal. So that calls for intentionality when choosing your group, even friends. As we always hear, show me your friends and show you your character. So you could be, yes, outstanding in the beginning, but you realize after some time they will start making you normalize even things that are abnormal. Yeah, so it's good that you be intentional when choosing your friends and clique and people you want to belong to in a certain circle. Another thing I said is pay attention. Sometimes you just have to listen. Yeah, then plan ahead. So you'll be asking yourself, in case I found myself in certain situation, maybe I'm being told that I need to get deflowered, that it is what and this, what will I say? Yeah, so you prepare yourself in advance and mentally. So another thing I said, um, acknowledging that yes, you have the freedom of choice despite the peer pressure. You get to understand you have freedom of choice, but you don't have freedom from the consequences of your actions. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, maybe I'm doing a tattoo, what will impact will it have, maybe on my career? There's some careers they don't want you to have the tattoos, like the army. So are you free from the choices? No. So that will make you to know the actions to take. To seek clarification, or rather consult from um, an authority, a figure of authority, before you decide to act. Maybe you're just confused, do seek clarification. Just instead of following the masses, the population, because many people are saying this, so you tend to assume it is okay, but it is not. So yeah, get to seek clarification. Another thing is reorientation. You get to change your attitudes towards something. Yeah, and it will help you. Maybe people have negative attitude towards virginity, but you can decide that virginity is a good thing. It helps you to be chaste. It helps you to focus. It prevents you maybe against many partners who would have exposed you to the risk of STIs, pregnancies, etc., and other things that you are not really ready for. Another thing is to build confidence, to even say no. Build the confidence so that you're able to stand for yourself, and communicate assertively that no, this is it, so you're able to stand for what is true. Yeah, another thing is to also build your character so that you have high principles that govern you even when no one is around you. Another thing is make hay while the sun shines. So yeah, start cultivating an identity that is based on spiritual backing. For example, that I'm a God's creation. So for example, it was all about virginity. Will be like, yeah, my body is God's temple, so I need to preserve it, etc. Yeah, that's what you can do. So another thing is to focus, keep your lane. Yeah, I know people, yeah, will be advancing, and that is how it has been. So another thing is to have gentle pressure and act cool. Sometimes you don't have to react. No, just act cool and life goes on. Another thing is appreciate people and experiences. Don't be envious of people you should be learning from. Be wise. Yeah, have wisdom and the humility to learn from them. Finally, embrace the journey of growth. Yeah, I think you have learned something. So because my son is crying, I want to leave you there. I don't know whether I've left anything, but I challenge you to avoid negative peer pressure from the things we have said, like saying no, You can get to say no again. You can get to give alternative options, get to consult, get to have wisdom and humility to learn from others. Yeah, and repeat the cycle, and life will continue. Until next time, bye. Please subscribe, share, and like. Also comment. I'm waiting to engage with you, right? Do that. Bye.